All right, we got a video here. Nothing has been the same since the pandemic. People are noticing things. I'm not the only one. Let's crack into it from a small channel here, Alter Ego Sean, but the video's got 206K views. Let's go.
What's good with y'all? Alter Ego Sean. Hope y'all doing well. Tapped in. I advise y'all to start taking walks too. Really good for your mental. But the video today is about things have not been the same since 2020. You look at any aspect of life. You look at working. We all work, you know. You look at relationships. We all have different relationships. You look at the future. Just being optimistic about your future. Nothing has really seemed the same. And I don't know why that is exactly. I think something that has to do with it is we all were able to, for at least a half a year, sit at home every day and kind of see, man, like, I'm working my life away. Man, I really don't see my family as much as I should. Man, bro, I think so many people came to the realization of so many different things during that can I say, I'm not even going to try it, but during 2020, you know, when we had to kind of just be away from everyone. And it's crazy because 4 years later, nothing really seems the same.
Yeah, man, I agree. This was, for me, the pandemic time was, the last 4 years have been the opportunity for the human species to have the big awakening and reset. Some of us had it, some of us didn't, right? There was opportunity. There was a situation in the pandemic. Maybe you had aunts and uncles or old people that were grandparents in a hospital and you were unable to see them and they died alone. That's unfortunate and terrible. A lot of people went to school on Zoom and digitally. They didn't even step foot into a classroom. I have people that I work with that have social skills challenges because they never went to a school in 4 years at the most crucial time to develop their social skills. Babies were developing, seeing people in masks, so babies can't read facial expressions. A lot of us work remotely from home. We don't know how to have close friends. A lot of males apparently online are not getting any physical attention or intimate attention from females in the opposite sex. A lot of females have resorted to sugar babying and OnlyFans and flying out internationally. Everything is just cray-cray. It is insane. And I really thought it was the big opportunity after that pandemic where everybody was controlled and locked down to get vaccines. I really thought it would be the opportunity to have a big global awakening. And I think we're seeing it in some ways in terms of technology and what it's doing to us. But in other ways, a lot of people just want to go right back onto the farm and be pumped out as cattle for society to run better. Sheeps for the systems of society to run. So yeah, this is what he's saying, I guess, essentially. Let's keep going.
And I don't think people really talk about it. You know, we're in another pandemic right now where people just don't want to work, and people want to say it's Gen Z or it's just younger people. It's older people who don't want to work too. It's older people who are tired of being sick and tired, you know, and it's kind of leaving everyone with the question of what now? Well, what do I do now? I know this isn't what I want to do. What do I want to do now? Dating. I don't know if y'all are married, if y'all have been with someone for a while. Dating has not been the same since 2020.
Yeah, let's pop in on that for a second. So dating is wild, right? I know a lot of guys that met their ideal partner during the lockdowns and they found the right person. And the fact that they were condensed into a small room or lifestyle for like 2 years made the relationship just go faster. And if they were with the right person, they came out of the pandemic like, yo, I'm going to marry this person. Like legit, they knew it was up. I have other buddies that found a great partner. I'd say to them, yo, you got the last helicopter out of Vietnam, bro, because you found an amazing woman and you got with her in 5 or 6 months and you made it official. And then a year and a half later, you're married, right? The last helicopter out of Vietnam, because it's wild in these streets right now. These dating streets are crazy, insane navigating them. If you don't have the social skills or the technology or the tools, you're going to be left far behind. There is no like average guy gets a result anymore. It's like you get nothing, or you work on these skills, you work on your improvement, you looks max yourself, you work on your social skills, you work on your lifestyle, and then you can attract the right partner. But it's like the have-nots and the haves. There's no middle class when it comes to dating anymore.
Now, a lot of that has to do with where we're at socially, just men and women. It's like we're on two completely different spectrums, but pre-2020, dating was normal, bro. You could look at someone and be like, I can see a future with them. You can't do that anymore. The future, I want you to honestly think. Now, I'm in a different boat. I am pretty optimistic about my future, but when you think about life, do you really think 5 years from now? It's like something weird where you can't even really think long term, because it's almost like I don't even know what will happen by then. It's like it's hard to think about a future if you don't think the world has one. I don't know, man. I can't see. It'll be 2025 in a couple months. In 5 years, we'll be in 2029, and it'll almost be. But basically, in 5 years, it'll be 2030. Do you guys really see a world in 2030? Can you look 5 years from now and be like, this is where I'll be, or this is where the world will be? Or I can't, maybe I'm that way because the past year I've kind of seen you can plan all you want, but really you don't have any say at the end of the day. You can plan to be somewhere in a year, but you don't really have any control of that. You don't know.
Yeah, man, there's just so many variables. Look at if you were a person living in Israel, your life is flipped upside down. There's a whole war going on over there. If you were somebody that was living in Ukraine or anywhere on that border, maybe in Poland, South Poland, your whole life is flipped upside down. You don't know what's going on. If you were in America, you had the pandemic, plus you had an insurrection on the January 6th, plus you had this voting happening right now, right? You thought there was voting fraud before. If you were in Canada and you donated to a trucker protest, your bank account got frozen, or they took your crypto. The list just goes on and on and on. Plus, let's not even forget the fact that there's unidentified flying aerial objects over New Jersey that are drones, and also they call it the P. It looked like a UFO, and the government doesn't know where it came from. You have people in Senate saying they don't know what it is. Everything is really uncertain, right? So many variables. So we got to learn to control the things that we can't control. But I think he's going to talk a little bit more about his concerns. And I mean, this is a bright young man that feels disillusioned, but I think he's speaking for all of us in a way of saying, all right, where is the world going? What's happening? And how can we make the most out of it?
What's going to happen tomorrow? How do you know what's going to happen a year from now? What I'm saying is more so, I can't even picture a world in 2030. I remember I was in high school and I could picture myself when I was 25. I could picture myself when I was 21, when I was 18, I could picture a world 5 years. I can't do that anymore. I have no idea where I'll be when I'm 31. And it's only been that way since after 2020, bro.
It's actually been wild. When you think about it, we've had 3 depressions sort of in the last 15 years, right? We had the automotive depression we had with the automobiles where Obama had to bail everybody out. We had the same thing with the airplanes, and then we had the pandemic from the COVID. It's crazy. No, actually, it was the banking, the housing crisis, the subprime mortgages we had. If you guys remember that, based on the movie The Big Short. The movie The Big Short was based on that. So it's been wild. 3 financial recessions in 15 years. It's crazy. And then people that are his age, right, 25, 30, how do you plan to get a house then, right? The inflation is crazy. It might look good on paper, but in reality, the inflation is where your dollar doesn't go as far as it used to when you step out to the store, right? And even if you have a bank account that is making 5%, 7%, if you're lucky, usually it's making 4% year-over-year compound interest, and it's in savings, it's not going to be even enough to offset the interest. So we all got to get super smart. We got to do things like put our money into, if you're looking at this, look at QQQ Pro Shares. That's I think a weighted tech stock, EFT index. Look at the VIX. Look at leveraging your crypto. You can do that. You can get your crypto, buy USDC, which is the coin of the crypto, the more stable stock of the crypto, they say, and you can actually have a bank loan on that crypto, right? Because you can reinvest that because it's an actual stock. There's so many things that we should be doing that aren't taught to us because the old systems don't work. And our parents grew up in a completely different generation. Our life progresses so fast right now. I'm not even talking about AI yet, but the world is going so fast that the information our parents had about how to navigate the system doesn't work. Get a job, stay at a company for like 20 years. That doesn't happen anymore. You're not going to go work at GM or Ford Motors for 20 years. That doesn't happen anymore, right? We're in a completely new ballgame, and there's no game plan for it.
We're living in such weird times. Like, just think, man. These times are so weird. We just had the presidential election last night. And it was almost like I want to be optimistic about the future, but we're living in such weird times. It's almost like we have to be realistic at the same time. Like, I want y'all to think about something. All right? It wasn't maybe 2 months ago Donald Trump was almost assassinated?
Right.
Who talks about that? Have you heard anyone talk about that? It's like it happened and then a week later we forgot about it. That's how odd times we're living in, where a former president of the United States was almost assassinated. Like, bro, like, skimmed him. Like a millimeter to the right. He's dead. And it's like we just forgot about it a week later. Like, we're living in very bizarre times where we literally forget what happened last week.
It is weird. Yeah.
What were you doing last week? And I can honestly say, like truly, I believe it's been this way since 2020.
No doubt.
Like, these times are so weird. You know, people are working. And I think a lot of people would love to think, oh, well, it's just because it's just financial times and it's really hard. And I get that, you know. People are struggling financially and it's hard to kind of plan for the future, or, you know, even plan next week when you don't know when your next meal is going to be. So I get that. But it's more than that. It's more than just about money. It's more than just about your 9 to 5. People don't even want relationships anymore.
Word.
And I'm not talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about relationships, period.
Yeah, everybody's selfish.
People don't have friends anymore.
Everybody is selfish to their own thing. They want to only do what they're doing, and they don't want to clear out their schedule or make time for others if it doesn't serve them. They're focused on what they are doing. They are their own first person. They are the star of their show. And whatever they want to do, they do it. They want to go to IKEA, they go to IKEA to buy something for their house and do their cat. They're not going to go out and do community work or join a society or get involved with things in their neighborhood. Not happening. It's the selfish era of me. And Instagram, social media just perpetuates that.
Don't talk to each other. People don't care about each other. People don't. It's like we're all, bro, like it's weird. We are naturally social creatures. Even if you're an introvert or you don't really like go out much, you need to be social. You need to talk to people. So it's just such weird times where we like I don't even know. Like, we have all these depressed people. We have all these people who feel so alone. And was it like this before 2020? It wasn't. Like, I remember getting together with the guys and just going and hooping. You know, I remember going on late night drives and just talking about life, you know.
I remember I used to just pull up at my boy's house, knock on the door and see who was there. Like, oh, what's up? You home? That's how I'd find out my friends are home. Oh, I just knock on the door. Are you home? Oh, okay, what are you doing? You're doing something? All right, let's go do something else. You're busy? You're reading a book? Put that down. Let's go do something. That's how it was. It's wild. I can't remember last time. Now it's like you're texting, trying to find a time. Person doesn't read the text. You're trying to make a schedule. It's wild. It's crazy now.
Yeah, I was younger, but as you get older, it's not like people change. You know, as you get older, it's not like our human nature changes. We've been the same, like we've had the same human nature since the beginning of time. So it's just weird because nothing has been the same. Shout out to Drake, man. Nothing was the same. But I don't know, man. Am I tweaking? I know I'm not tweaking. I'm speaking straight facts. Nothing has been the same since 2020. Let me know what y'all think, though. Like, comment, subscribe. Alter Ego Sean, I'm out.
Respect.
Architecture and interior design.
Respect. Go check him out, man. Go check out his channel, Alter Ego Sean. Check it out. Nothing's been the same. Looks to be an up-and-coming YouTuber, man. Good stuff. I appreciate everything he's saying here. Do you agree with him? Do you feel like nothing's been the same since 2020? Write down in the comments section down below what you think. How have you been experiencing life? What has changed for you? I'm sure that this is a common situation for a lot of people, and we got to add power to it and talk about it. If we're all experiencing it, we got to make it a reality. Don't just push it to the back burner, pretend it's not happening. This is your life, all right? You got one shot. Keep watching. More videos coming up in the corners over here. More coaching videos as well. Cheers.